Hello everybody, in this video we're going to talk about self-love and self-acceptance, but before I start the video I would like to send rays of gratitude to you guys, to everybody who watches my videos, and the Patreons and the people who donate, and the One Infinite Creator for such a beautiful existence, for such a beautiful creation. I mean, my God, is this planet beautiful? So, let's right into it. How do you love yourself? To answer this question, you have to first of all understand that by being born and raised on planet Earth, by the virtue of being born here and raised here, you are a wounded individual, and this wound has varying degrees to it. It could be severe, it could be mild, it could be little, depending on how much work you've done on yourself, depending on your parents, where you grew up, etc., etc., etc. This planet has been hijacked by the dark side of the Force. The way the duality has been working here for the last 25,000 years or so is in such an arrangement that the dark side of the Force has been in charge of things, if you will, on this planet. And so, the way the dark side works is the dark side inflicts as much suffering, as much pain as possible wherever the dark side rules. That's just the way it works. Okay? The way the dark lords feed, the dark entities feed, is they feed on pain and suffering. So they've hijacked the planet and they have instilled fear. Pain, which causes fear, will cause pain and suffering. So, as a result of being born and raised on planet Earth, to varying degrees, you have some form of worthlessness and lack of self-love. Now, how do you reconcile that? How do you love yourself more? And I'm only going to provide a perspective here, okay? And it's only a perspective. Take it as you may, interpret it as you may, as to how to go on about loving yourself. So, initially, when I undertook this rather difficult mission to love myself more, I started off by affirming to myself all the things that I love about myself. So if I love the particular thing in my physical appearance, I would reaffirm that to myself. I would say something like, you have a beautiful face, or you've got nice hair, or something like that. And of course, I didn't just operate on a superficial level. I also went into the other traits in myself, in my personality, that I found attractive. And I would say, I love that you're confident, or I love that you can speak your mind, or I love that you can express yourself, etc., etc., etc. And these are helpful things to do, especially when you have a weak ego, a weak, you really have a weak sense of your humanity. You find your human self to be miserable and disgusting and less than everyone else. And these things are useful, right? But the problem that I eventually ran into was that I was placing conditions on my love to myself in this particular human manifestation, right? So if I said something like, I love my beautiful face, for example, right? If on a particular day I didn't exactly find my face to be all that attractive, if let's say I had some bad food the day before, really salty, and I woke up the next day and my face would be all puffy, uh, then in that moment, on that day, I found that I didn't love myself as much as when my face was, say, glowing. And you can apply that to every other condition that you place on your love. And I found that I was placing conditions. I was setting myself up for more suffering, actually, just on a more subtle level. So I was putting all these conditions. I was picking out all these things that I found attractive about myself. For whatever reason, I found them attractive. Uh, and I would say, I love this, and I love this, and I love this. And I found that I left out some parts of myself that I didn't love, quote unquote, right? And pretty soon I realized that to love myself unconditionally is to accept myself in all my manifestations. And that turns out to be what unconditional cosmic love, what agape is. It isn't loving particular aspects of yourself, it is accepting all aspects of yourself. And in that acceptance, you go beyond the duality of love and hate. I love my hair, but I hate my feet, for instance. Or I love my face and I hate my hands. Or, something or other. So, what you'll find yourself doing if you just focus on particular aspects that you love about yourself is you will leave some aspects wounded and unloved. And you try to compensate for that sense of worthlessness. So if you find a part of your body or your mind and your personality unattractive, you will focus on the things that you find attractive and leave those other parts of you to continue to be wounded. And you will place more and more conditions on your love to yourself. Whereas if you really want to love yourself, if you really, really want to love yourself, that love has to be unconditional. There has to be no conditions on it, which means you must accept all aspects of yourself, all manifestations of yourself. Let it be in your mind, let it be in your body. You're a mind, body, spirit complex. So you've got to accept it if you want to love it. You accept all your manifestations. You accept yourself when you're angry. You accept yourself when you're sad. You accept yourself when you're happy. You accept yourself when you're equanimous. You accept yourself when you're peaceful. You accept all the different manifestations in your body. You accept yourself if you find yourself skinny. You accept that skinniness. If you find yourself at the moment overweight, you accept it at the moment you're overweight. So it turns out unconditional love is accepting the manifestation of God, because you're a manifestation of God. You're a subjective, unique manifestation of God. So you accept that manifestation of God, you currently, what you identify as you, the mind, body, spirit complex, in all its manifestations, moment to 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 moment. Now, does that mean if, let's say, you're currently way overweight and that's causing health issues to you, does that mean you're just like, you know what, I'm fat and I'm just gonna be fat and I accept myself as fat and I'm not gonna do anything about it? No. It means if you accept yourself right now as fat, you're gonna have a much easier time, believe me, you're gonna have a much easier time changing, applying changes to your life in a positive direction, because you will not be operating from worthlessness. You will not be operating from, for lack of better words, a lower vibration of guilt. You feel guilty because you're fat. You blame yourself. You feel guilty. You will not be operating from guilt. Guilt is a low vibrational state of consciousness. You will be operating from a place of acceptance and peace. You will peacefully undertake your journey of shedding unnecessary weight peacefully. Acceptance brings about peace, and peace is a very high vibrational state of consciousness. Guilt is a low vibrational state of consciousness. So it's not that you stop changing, it's not that you stop participating in this game. This game, the game of existence, the world of appearance, is the world of change, constant change, and you're part of it. And as the mind-body complex that you play, this character that you take on, that character is constantly changing. And you move and flow with the changes. And you use your consciousness, your intention, to dictate those changes. But how do you want to change? Do you want to change from a place of guilt, or do you want to change from a place of peace? Which peace comes from acceptance of what is in the moment. And that's what self-love is. Self-love isn't to pick out the parts of you that you find particularly attractive or desirable. Self-love is accepting the manifestation moment to moment as it is. And I've been learning to do that in my life, because I thought that I have mastered that part, right? I've really just come to accept the parts of me, and I've realized recently that if I am find myself, because like I'm supposed to be spiritual, right? I'm supposed to be like, I make videos, I'm supposed to have figured it all out, and so I found that if I am angry, I kind of blame myself and I feel guilty about it. If I'm angry about something, or angry at someone, then I find myself to be blaming myself and feeling guilty about that. And so that it came to my mind that I have not yet learned fully how to accept all the different parts of me and all the different manifestations. And another thing, for instance, is like when I'm tired, right? Because again, I've always, at least for the last 5, 6, 7 years, I've been known as this high energy person, right? And I had a fitness channel before, and I would go to the gym every day, and I'd do these crazy things in the gym, and so I was a symbol of high energy. And I've also found lately that when I am tired, I don't accept that part of me that's tired, because I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be, my ego is supposed to be this high energy guy, this high energy human, right? So I'm learning also, I have not mastered that by any means. And I realized that I'm causing myself misery by leaving some of those parts of this manifestation behind and not loving them. And it turns out that I just simply accept what is arising in this manifestation. I accept the tiredness, I accept the high energy, I accept the peacefulness, I accept the anger. And an interesting thing happens, a paradoxical thing, is when the more you accept, the more you practice this self-acceptance. You can go into meditation and accept different parts of you. The more you accept them, the faster, there's a paradox, the faster those parts, those undesirable parts like anger, frustration, tiredness, etc., the more effortlessly they pass through. So you may find yourself, I found that if I'm tired and I'm just frustrated because I'm tired, because I'm not supposed to be tired, right? I found that if I'm tired and if I'm judging myself for being tired, that the tiredness lasts longer, of course, because there's mental stress here. I'm creating stress, mental tension. But if I'm just like, I'm tired right now, I'm just gonna surrender to it, that it passes by quicker at least, right? So, because I'm operating in peace, I'm in peace, I'm in acceptance, I'm in peace. So, unconditional love to yourself and to other parts of you, so other humans, other beings, animals, plants, etc., creation, the universe, has to do with acceptance of all manifestations as they are moment to moment. If you want to love yourself unconditionally, you don't have to do much. You don't have to look in the mirror and say, I love myself, or I love this aspect of me, or I love this part of my personality, or this part of my character, or I love that I'm brave, or I love that I'm this and I'm that, right? This is another one I used to do. I'd be like, because, I am a brave person. Okay, I will just say it right now. I am a brave person, and so that was one of the things I would tell myself. Like, I love that you're brave, right? But I'm not always brave. I got fears too, and I'm scared of things, and so I also found that those aspects of me, when I am scared of something, I found that I rejected those aspects instead of accepting them, because that's just my humanity. You see, that's just my humanity. So, to love yourself unconditionally is to accept yourself in all the manifestations. Plain and simple. And then accept all other beings in their manifestations, because if you can master that in yourself, you will do it in others. And the same with the universe. You accept evil, because that's the duality, that's the game, that's how it works. You accept evil. Now, again, that doesn't mean you're not playing your role in the game. right? So you could be accepting evil and 24/7 fighting against it, fighting to dispel darkness, to dispel evil. You can accept the reptilians and the cabal and all the evil shit they do, and the child pedophilia and the child sacrifice stuff. You can accept that that's how the universe is, this because that's accepting the universe and working relentlessly and 24/7 full time to stop that from happening, because you will do it from a vibration of peace, not from a vibration of anger or blame or guilt and resistance. Because if you don't accept these aspects of creation in the universe, because all is one, all is God, and evil and darkness are like the contrast that God uses to play the game, to come back to know itself as the light, as love, as beauty. So you accept the universe, you are the universe, you accept yourself, you accept others, you accept the universe as it is, that creates peace. You have peace of mind, you have a peaceful vibration, and from that peaceful vibration, you participate in the game, which is constantly changing, and play your role in it, whether that's fighting evil, whether that's losing weight, and whatever else you want to do with your life. Okay? I recently also found that whenever I have like food binges and stuff, because again, I'm like, I talk a lot about breatharianism and fasting, and I'm always supposed to be, strict about it and everything because I talk about it. I also found that if I go and cheat or have some cooked vegan meals or whatever, that sometimes I also will not accept those parts of myself because I'm supposed to be this disciplined person with amazing self-control, etc. So again, the more I accept, the more I love myself, the more the more somehow I can deliberately and intentionally change whatever it is that I would like to change, because I'm peaceful about it. I'm not in resistance to anything. Okay, so this is in a nutshell how you love yourself and how you love others unconditionally. Acceptance of all manifestations of the universe, that includes this manifestation, moment to moment as it is. All right? So I send rays of gratitude to all the people who support this channel in every way and share the videos and support it financially through Patreon or one-time donations on PayPal. I love you guys. If you'd like to make a donation, down below in the comments, I have links for Patreon and I have links for PayPal if you'd like to make one-time donations. Much love, much gratitude, and I will see you guys in the next video.